from the public completely. Mr. Speaker, I don't know where that plan is hatched, Mr. Speaker, whether it is in the executive or in the judiciary or somewhere. Mr. Speaker, there is a serious plan to disconnect members of parliament, especially members of the National Assembly, from the public, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, people tell you that it is not your work to bring development to the people. If I cannot bring development to my people, what is the constitutional requirement of representation? You represent people so that you can speak on their behalf on the floor of the House to get resources to the public, Mr. Speaker, if I understand it well. Mr. Speaker, this is something that this House will not accept. Mr. Speaker, look at what's happening in the counties. We are not against devolution. We completely support devolution, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, we have to analyze since the last 10 or 12 years whether devolution has worked for this country. The only things we see in devolution is conferences every year that shows us beans, ndengu, carrots, cucumber, cassavas grown in our areas, Mr. Speaker. Those things have been happening since independence. My grandmother has been growing cassava since Kenya became independent, Mr. Speaker. That's what you are being shown in devolution conferences. There is nothing serious that has happened in terms of devolution since devolution came into place, Mr. Speaker. Truth must be said. We must be truthful to the people, Mr. Speaker. Sure. Look at the amount of money that has been devolved in this country. Trillions of shillings since devolution came into place. Nothing to show for it. Nothing, completely nothing, Mr. Speaker. Let's be honest to Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, we don't want to describe them as devolved corruption. But people are preoccupied. Mr. Speaker, can we have order here? People are preoccupied with the little money that has been devolved through NGCDF, little money that has been devolved to the constituencies through RMLF, and people don't take note of the billions of shillings that are being devolved every financial year, Mr. Speaker. Counties are getting their money. They are never in arrears. Even if they're in arrears, it's 1 month, 2 months, in the end the money goes down to the ground. There are counties that are holding billions of shillings in their central bank accounts. I was reading in the newspaper the other day that there are counties that have not spent 48 billion shillings, Mr. Speaker. They are lying idle in their account. And they are still demanding for more money. They're saying, oh, the national government has not devolved. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, these people who are calling themselves here Nairobi, Kera and Kura, these people must know that these are organs of national government. They are not part of county government. They are oversighted by this House. This Director General of Kera, Mr. Speaker, this man is a joker. I can tell you for truth. He thinks that he is supposed to report to counties. Which governor oversights him? Which county government oversights him? That man must be dragged here to this House under full committee of the full House, Mr. Speaker. And he must be told in no certain terms that he is supposed to report to the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker. This is a man who thinks that he is supposed to work with county government. Which county government is giving him money? Mr. Speaker, you can go around to every constituency today, and we'll take you around as a speaker. The roads that are maintained by constituency development, by this RMF through the constituency, are known. In every constituency, there are not even more than 4 or 5. Majority of the roads are classified as county roads, and they're in pathetic condition, all of them. And they're asking for the RLMF for the constituency. The ones for the constituency are well maintained. Actually, the national government is trying its best to even tarmac majority of the county roads. Mr. Speaker, we cannot take this thing anymore lying down. We will put our foot down. We are tired of these shenanigans of counties and judiciary all the time saying CDF is unconstitutional, and these people are enjoying their monies. They are not delivering any services to the public, and the people who are supposed to do that work are being curtailed, Mr. Speaker. This matter must come to an end, and we are going to pass, as the majority leader said, the county revenue allocation, the extra money we are giving them through the bill that has been brought here, without RLMF. If they don't want money, the bill will get stuck here for good. You can continue with the one that you have been given at the beginning of the year. And I want to tell the Council of Governors, please, don't joke with members of Parliament. They have been elected just like the way you have been elected. Your votes We got votes the same way you got votes. Some of you, we just go through waves. You know, there are people who are saying, when the new constitution was being formulated, governors should have been appointed job. There are people who are saying that. We can amend the constitution. If need be. So, Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, we are saying, let us respect everyone's work as enshrined in the constitution and in the laws, Mr. Speaker, and we must make sure that we are not supposed to be made like we are not supposed to bring any development to our constituency. A governor told me, Mr. Speaker, he told me on my face that, you know, your work is representation and oversight. You are just to go and make noise in parliament. That is all. That's your work. You don't have any other work. I told him, my friend, my friend, when we are going to do the division of revenue bill, we will give you very little money if you talk like that. That's when you'll realize what power has the constitution given to the National Assembly. So, Mr. Speaker, we support the devolution, but the county, what is this thing called? The Council of Governors. These are more first thing first. It's not in the constitution. I don't know, it's in the County Government Act or something, Mr. Speaker, which we can repeal even that one. They must respect members of parliament henceforth. And that is not anything we are begging for. Mr. Speaker, it's an order, and we will stand firm to make sure that our constituency gets development as required by law. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Your leaders have spoken. Can we end there and go to some other business? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yes. A very good afternoon, a very good evening to our followers of Freak 24. This is a political discussion that happens here every day at 10 p.m. East African time, where you joining this great conversation because we have a lot to discuss here as we pioneer our today's show. Welcome wherever you're tuning. This is a Freak 24 political discussion. Of course, we are going to discuss more about what is happening in this country. In terms of politics, we have seen how the change is being witnessed, and also how politically Kenya is being influenced. We have seen how the influence from the president and also members of opposition, they are trying to capture the attention of Kenyans as the fight for 2027 general elections starts officially. We have seen how leaders are campaigning for 2027. Yet the Kenya Kwanza government, they are in power, but still you can see how they are also pushing for 2027 instead of working for the Kenyans. But we have seen how President Tua has really been made successful by most of Kenyans, specifically in Nairobi, how they turned in large numbers to attend those congregations. But today, we also saw how the president was serving a lot of children over there, students, and others are saying this is a sign of betrayal because at same time they were following each other during this tour. The convoy, which was accompanied by the president, they did an accident. Of course, there was hit and run. That convoy that was carrying the president, they hit a foreigner along Gong Road, and also in the Gong Road, they were rushing for attending that presidential congregation. And of course, in Langata, we saw how the convoy was following each other, and that is how a foreigner was hit and run. There was a hit and run. What does that mean? It means that the convoy that hit the president hit and run and did not bother. So Kenyans are asking, why do you have this kind of things happening? Remember, this is a Free 24. You can join us through the comment section. Through the comment section, share with us. Share with us what you think. Is it Kenyans who are not patient? Because we have 2 years now of Kenya Kwanza government. 2 years of Kenya Kwanza government, and we are still remaining with 2 years before 2027. Kenyans are Kenyans the one who doesn't have that patience, because the president is saying that he will make this Kenya move ahead. He will transform this country. Earlier, we have seen how Didi Nyoro and other members of parliament were eliminated from those positions in the parliament. Yet they are from the mountain, and we thought, Kenyans thought, the broad-based government is going to change. It's going to influence and push the government to work. Didi Nyoro and other members were eliminated from that budgetary committee. At 2 years, Kenya Kwanza government still has a lot of projects that are not accomplished, and still we are having a lot of people questioning the accountability of the government. Are we in the safe country?
I want to support this motion, but one say, I'm very, Honorable Speaker, the majority leader is really pronouncing my name loudly. I want to say I'm happy that the budget committee has now maybe realized their mistakes. The new budget committee, we want to implore on them to ensure that they balance the allocation of resources of this country across. One thing I want to talk about, Honorable Speaker, is about healthcare. It's about allocation of resources in our hospitals. I was looking at that supplementary budget, Honorable Speaker, and I come from Western Province. We have 5 counties. We have 5 referral hospitals. That is Kitale, Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, and Mbale in Vihiga, Honorable Speaker. Curiously, of all the 5 referral hospitals, only one has been allocated a paltry 50 million, Honorable Speaker. But curiously, small hospitals like Soi have been given 500 million, Honorable Speaker. We have the Bondo Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. You know, Nyanza already has Russia Hospital in Kisumu that is in fact a parastatal. We do not have any in Western Province. Now the government has moved and has given Jaramogi Oginga Odinga in Bondo again to be a parastatal. Whereas in the whole circuit of Western Province, we do not have any serious referral hospital. I want to implore on the budget committee that this time try and balance out these resources. Try and make every other Kenyan feel that they are part and parcel of this country.
What is out
of order? Very unfair.
Honorable Bukose, what's your point of order? It's very unfair. Honorable Anami, order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The issue which is being raised by Honorable Anami, complaining about Jaramogi Oginga Odinga being promoted to a national referral hospital, Honorable Speaker, I think is out of order, because he should be able to raise that a request for maybe Kakamega Hospital to be a national referral hospital, not necessarily referring to Jaramogi, because Jaramogi has gone through a procedure and through the cabinet approval and through also the county government of Kisumu, which Professor Anyang' Nyong'o wrote to the national government with and agreed to transfer Jaramogi Oginga Odinga into a national hospital.
Bukose,
so that should not...
Honorable Bukose sounds like a point of information, not a point of order. You have 30 seconds.
Honorable Bukose did not understand what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about Professor Nyong'o's hospital. And neither am I even complaining about the Bondo. I'm just saying that in considering these things, Kakamega, for instance, requires those status. I'm not complaining for any other person. Yeah, and just to be fair, maybe that's the reason you lost that chairmanship of that committee, Honorable Bukose.
Honorable Amboka, you're totally out of order. You do not disparage your colleague like that.
Okay.
I apologize. It was on a light
Thank
note.
you. Honorable Sholei, Deputy Speaker, reply.
Honorable Speaker, even as I reply, Honorable Wamboka should take responsibility as a leader in that area to begin the process of making sure that Kakamega Hospital becomes a referral hospital. It's in his power to do that. And Honorable Speaker, as I reply, I just want to thank all the members of the Liaison Committee who worked very hard to ensure that we completed.
That is the debate that is ongoing in the parliament. Of course, they are fighting for developments, but we have seen some of the areas they have been neglected. Some of the areas they don't have that full support. Some of the areas they have been allocated money, but still, when you focus with those areas, then you will find that it's alarming. Some of the regions, for example, in Ukambani, go to Ukambani, you see there is member of parliament, but now when you focus with the development, there is zero. I really wonder where do this money go? Because every constituency is allocated money, and the money should help the Kenyans. And when it comes to roads, constructions, power, when it comes to those social amenities, you go to some place, and for you to get an hospital, you have to go for over 50 kilometers. And yet there is member of parliament in that region who has been allocated money, and the money is made for making sure that Kenyans are in safe place. Where do this money go from? Where do they take this money? That is the question.
Government BBI that was there, it will go the way that government went. So we cannot afford a situation whereby we want to amend the constitution so as either to massage the egos of the proponents of the government or to reward the beneficiaries of the broad-based government. Mr. Speaker, we are all men and women of this republic, and we hear both the normal talk and the talk in the grapevine, and these days, the talk on social media, which is part of our lives. I don't like what I'm hearing, Mr. Speaker. What I'm starting to hear at those three levels is as if somebody wants to fix another person, somebody wants to fix a particular party and not the other one, somebody wants to fix a particular region at the expense of another one, and somebody even wants to fix a community. If that is the spirit of broad-based government, it would be wrong. We should never punish anybody. I hear repeatedly, oh, Kashagwa ho, oh, Rigiji ho. The story of Rigiji is gone. Rigiji was given an opportunity in this house to face me, to face Omogeni, to face all of us, and he chickened out. So that is a story which is gone. Let all politicians, especially from Mount Kenya, enjoy equal opportunity in the broad-based government. Mr. Speaker, when we were constituting the new look committees, unknown to this House, Mr. Speaker, I failed to discharge my role as a chief whip, who under our standing orders is supposed to take the lead in reconstituting committees. Because as a man who joined the struggle at an early age of 22 years at the University of Nairobi, I find it difficult to be part of an exercise that was meant to be exclusive rather than inclusive. This is the way to go. Today you're on top, tomorrow you're not. Today you're on the strong side of the wind, tomorrow you're not. We want to build a country that gives all Kenyans equal opportunity. I see, for example, Mr. Speaker, some noise building around certain members of parliament, and not members of parliament, members of the cabinet that probably X, Y, or Z might be removed so as to pave way for the new look broad-based government. I want to send an early warning. This will be wrong. Whoever is starting to raise issues on Dr. Deborah Mulongo Barasa, if you think that is the way to fix the broad-based government, you should know that also Mulongo, who did not, by the way, apply for that job, she was very busy in her medical practice. She also comes from a community, and that community has heavy fighters, and sometimes we throw very heavy punches up to and including Dr. Boni Khalwal. Nobody should intimidate Dr. Mulongo. Mr. Speaker, the issue of IEBC in this report, we should expedite the process because, Mr. Speaker, the other day we lost our colleague from Baringo. The people of Baringo need, that delegation needs a senator here. Mr. Speaker, 4 members of parliament have lost their lives.
That is a discussion that is ongoing, of course, in the Senate and also in the Parliament. But this is after the broad-based government that was formed by Raila Odinga and William Ruto came together, and now they started working. How the president, of course, the president is saying that they came together with Raila Odinga so that they can bring Kenya together. They can unify Kenyan communities. But you can see the way things are taking shape, how Kenyans are being eliminated when it comes to those positions. You have seen how the Mount Kenya leaders have been eliminated, and how Didi Nyoro being removed from that position really sent signals to the mountain leaders. The mountain leaders are still under siege on what will happen now if after Gachagua was impeached. So if you are close to Gachagua, it means that any position that he holds in the parliament, in the Senate, in the government will also be affected. Is that uniting Kenyans or dividing Kenyans? That is how Kenyans are viewing it. Like the broad-based government came to confuse the country. The broad-based government just came to divide the country. Raila Odinga, we thought that the likes of Pio and I, Kilifo for Paranya, and also Alias and Joe, who joined the government, they are going to unite Kenyans. They are going to push the government to work for the Kenyans. But now you're seeing how they have been absorbed by the government. They have been given that opportunity, but now they are not pushing for the Kenyans. It is their own demands that are being presented over there. Because you saw how leaders also, which Kenyans, of course, the Kenyans are asking what will happen if at any point we get someone who does not condone corruption, does not and earns this kind of tribalism, someone who is very strong with making sure that the rules and the regulation of the country, and also that is constitution, has been followed. Because what is happening is that you make a mistake, then the next day you are out of what you were doing. It's a tit-for-tat game. Of course, they say it's a fair game, but now the broad-based government, as the president is saying, Raila help him run the country.
Sasa leo ni ile siku ambayo tulikubaliana ya kwamba hii Lang'ata itawacha kuwa slum, Kibera itawacha kuwa slum, itakuwa estate kama sehemu zingine za Kenya. Leo nimekuja kuanzisha ujenzi wa affordable housing hapa. Mimi nataka niwaambie watu wa Lang'ata hivi, hii nyumba ni nyumba zenu. Ile rent unalipa pale ya shilingi 2,000, 3,000, wewe utakuja kulipa hapa na nyumba itakuwa yako. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Na mimi kwa mapenzi ya Mungu, hii Lang'ata Hii Kibra hii tunaona leo ni slum. Hii tutaibadilisha kwa miaka 10 ama 15, hakutakuwa na slum tena hapa. Hapa kutakuwa ni mahali ambapo ni estate, mahali wananchi wanaishi, mahali kuna maji, kuna stima, kuna vyoo, kuna usafi, na mahali ambapo inatoshana na makao ya wananchi katika city ya Nairobi. Wangwana, tumekubaliana? Tuko pamoja? Sikizeni. Hapa tunajenga nyumba 15,000 na hizi nyumba zitajengwa na vijana wa hapa Lang'ata. Hakuna vijana watatoka sehemu ingine kuja kujenga hizi nyumba. Vijana wa Lang'ata, mko tayari ama mko tayari jameni? Vijana wa Lang'ata mko? Vijana wa Lang'ata mko? Mbona sisikii sauti ya vijana hapa Lang'ata? Lang'ata hoye! Muko tayari kufanya kazi hii? Hapa tunahitaji engineer, tunahitaji plumber, tunahitaji mason, tunahitaji carpenter, tunahitaji electrician, mtu ya mkono, mama mboga, mtu ya kutengeneza chakula. Kila mtu anahitajika hapa. Muko tayari ama muko tayari? Sawa sawa jameni. Nasikizeni watu wa Lang'ata. Sawa sawa. Hii manyumba tunajenga hii ni kubadilisha sura ya hii city ya Nairobi. Nairobi haiwezi kuendelea kuwa mahali ya takataka chafu ama sewage ama slums. Hii Nairobi ni capital city ya Kenya. We must transform the city of Nairobi so that it represents the face of the Republic of Kenya. Tumekubaliana? Vijana, nataka munisikize. Mbali na kujenga hizi nyumba, vile vile hii mto iko hapa, hii Ngong River, vile tumeweka mpango sasa ya kutengeneza
A lot of promises day and night, day and night, day and night. We are getting a lot of promises from the government. But now, how do we implement those promises? Now they are saying from Asla Nation to Kasongo, Zakayo. Those are the names that the president has accepted. He said that he is ready for them. He has been giving a lot of promises to Kenyans. We are going to carry development. And of course, you saw there was a member of parliament for Lang'ata there. That is Felix Oduor called there. That is Jalas. Jalas was there. But also, he did not echo any words when it comes to what the president was doing. That is Jalas, who is the member of parliament for Lang'ata, when the president was launching those affordable housing in Lang'ata, one of the areas that has been affected by a lot of slums. We have Kibera over there, and those are the kind of things. The president is also saying for the next 15 years, we are going to change Madare, we are going to change Kibera. 15 years, and we have only a few years to 2027. Does it mean that he is sure that he's going to win 2027 in general election? Because if you say 15 years, then it means that we will be having another president. We only have the next 5 years for elections if he wins the second term. But if it does not win, then it means the president who will take over will also carry on those affordable housing. You remember even Gachagua was saying, when the new government has to take over the leadership of this country, then this affordable housing needs to be stopped, because Gachagua was saying that this affordable housing is a total scam. This affordable housing is a project that is being connected to some of the leaders in the government, and they are utilizing this opportunity to get money. They are using this opportunity to also milk Kenyans, because a lot of ways that used to milk Kenyans, they have been blocked. So they are using this affordable housing, as Gachagua used to say, this is a total scam for the people of Kenya. Affordable housing, but the president is saying this affordable housing will also ensure we don't have slums in this country, and we get to give the youth available opportunities when it comes to construction of this affordable housing. Are the affordable housing real or genuine? Because a lot of things are happening when it comes to these projects that are being launched by the president.
Viongozi wa Kenya wote, jameni, tuungane, tushirikiane. Ya muhimu sio uchaguzi wa 2027. Ya umuhimu sasa ni mpango ya transformation ya Kenya, barabara tutakazojenga, maji tutakayofikisha kwa manyumba ya wananchi, stima tutakayofikisha kwa nyumba ya wananchi. Hawa vijana tuwapange na ajira, na wale wengine wote tuhakikishe ya kwamba tuna madawa katika mahospitali yetu. Na ndio mimi nataka niwaulize viongozi, let us unite so that we can have a plan and we can prosecute the agenda for the transformation of our nation. Matters 2027 will come and the people of Kenya will decide. For now, we must focus on making sure that we deliver on the commitments that we made. And I want to promise the people of Kenya that this administration, under my leadership, is going to focus on the transformation of Kenya, making sure that our teachers are in school, our children are being taught, our farmers have the support they need. We build roads, we connect electricity, we connect water, transform our nation. That is what is important for every Kenyan, irrespective of their tribe, irrespective of the region they come from, irrespective of the religion they profess, irrespective of any other consideration. And that is why we must work together as leaders and as a nation. Na mimi nataka niwatahadharishe, upande ule mwingine ni watu hawana mpango, hawana sera, hawana ideas, hawana chochote. Ati mpango yao yote ni vile watagawanya wa Kenya. Kama hawasemi mambo ya ukabila, wanasema mambo ya sijui dini. Kama hawasemi mambo ya dini, wanasema sijui nani wa kutoka mulima, nani wa kutoka bonde, nani wa kutoka bara, nani wa kutoka ziwa, nani wa kutoka wapi. Kama hawafanyi hiyo, wanasema nani yako na kazi, nani hana kazi, nani yako na payslip, nani hana payslip. Mimi nataka niwaambie hawa jamaa, if you want a semblance of a competition, look for an agenda. Leave division. Division will not get you anywhere. And the people of Kenya are resolved to unite so that together we can transform our nation. We cannot transform our nation divided. We will transform our nation united. And that is why we are united as a people of Kenya. Watu wa Mandera, munasema tuungane ama tutengane?
Tuungane ama tutengane, that is the president, and of course he has been preaching this gospel for a long time. Ni tuungane ama tutengane. He has been preaching this word for long. Is it high time now Kenya focus on general elections? Because we have a lot of projects. Of course, we have seen how Morara Kebaso has been exposing government projects that are left unfinished, and yet the money has been allocated. How a lot of people are suffering when it comes to development, and they are paying tax. A lot of tax is being imposed. Tax is being imposed to Kenyans, and also the fire when it comes to the economy is also getting hot. The economy in this country is something that has been questioned for long. A lot of things that are going on when it comes to the government, but the former deputy president Rigathi Gachagua, he has been slamming the Kenya Kwanza government. You know, he was in the government, and the other day he said he will always inject the president when it comes to development, because he knows any place, he knows the routes that the president can take to control this country. So he's saying that he will inject, and he will inject at any point. The other time we injected and said that the bombers of Kenya has been sold. That is what he said. He said that bombers of Kenya is now private owned thing. He said that there is a time now Kenyans accept that and they move on. just questioning here why is this happening, and these are the
Number
government
2, mambo ya abductions, watu ya Kitengela waliumia sana. And you know, Reverend ulisema mambo ya watu keugeu. Huyu rais alitugeuka. Na nikumwambia tu, rais, wewe ulisema ni Mkristo. Watoto wadogo wanatekwa nyara na kuuawa na serikali yako. This is wrong. How can you profess to be a Christian, to be born again, yet the government that you lead is abducting and killing our children? Hata serikali ya mkoloni ambayo ilikuwa ni ya unyama na ukatili haikuteka watoto nyara na haikuua watoto. So hapo mimi ndio tulianza kupitania na rais. Na nikamwambia, these are our children. These are our sons and daughters. You are calling them criminals. They are not criminals. Ile tu wanataka ni haki ya Wakenya. Na kwa sababu wewe umemeza upinzani, nature abhors vacuum. Wamejitokeza kutetea Wakenya. I had a big problem with President William Ruto over abductions and extrajudicial killings. And if there is one reason, William Ruto, that will make the people of Kenya punish you, and the church is abducting and killing our children, they'll punish you. That one you cannot escape. Hata ukiungana na nani, hata ukitaja mabarabara ambayo iko, hii dhambi ya kuteka watoto nyara na kuwaua. Mimi najua tunaambiwa tukue watu ya kusameheana. Biblia inatuambia we forgive many times. But Reverend, I'm having a problem myself. Forgiving somebody who is abducting and killing our children, I have a big problem. Labda utaniombea roho yangu itulie. Because that is very painful. Because these are young children who are innocent. Na hao watoto ni kusema tu wamesema Kenya haitembei vizuri, ama iko makosa mengine wamefanya. So that one we have a problem. Again, maneno ya corruption. Nimwambia rais, tuliahidi watu tutawafanyia kazi, serikali imekuwa ni wizi tupu. Today as we speak, Bomas of Kenya imeuziwa Mturuki. Bomas of Kenya imeenda. Ililetwa pale cabinet nikapinga. Peke yangu. Watu wengine yote hapo ni waoga. Wakiona rais wanatetemeka namna hii. Mimi peke yake ndio nilisimama cabinet nikasema Bomas of Kenya is a national heritage and we cannot sell it. Imeuziwa Mturuki ambaye ni business partner ya mtu mkubwa sana katika hii serikali. Mnamjua. Hiyo Bomas imeenda. Na tena pale watu ya civil aviation walipinga. Wakasema the flight path to Wilson Airport ni hapo. Hiyo ndio flight path. It will be dangerous. Rais akafanya. Nilipokuwa mkali akawachana naye. Aliponifukuza sasa hakuna mtu ya kusema kitu. Watu pale yote ni flower gas. Umeona headline? Ni watu ya yes. Wanaitwa watu ya yes. Sasa pale this we are on our own, Reverend, as a country. William Ruto will do whatever he wants in this country. There is not a single person. I was the only remaining person. Ni Mungu peke yake atatusaidia. Hiyo boma sasa ameenda pale amebulldoze imepita. Mashamba yote ya jela yote imeuzwa. Jela zote zinatakiwa sihamishwe, hiyo mashamba imeuzwa yote. Mpaka makanisa ya Catholic, SDA ile iko ndani ya jela yote itabomolewa. Mpaka Atali, they will be demolished. Yote imeuzwa. Sasa amemeza upinzani. Wabunge wetu wote wamepewa pesa. Vichwa imeharibika, kuna mtu anaweza ongea. William Ruto will do whatever he wants for 2 years. But the good thing is only for 2. Mnamsijali.
For 2 years. He will do this only for 2 years. But now 2027, he will be out of the government. That is what Gachagua is trying to mean. Kenyans will make any effort to make sure Gachagua or any other leader will win 2027. Not only William Ruto will win. So, how is this plan for making sure that the President William Ruto will just serve for 5 years and then he goes home, he goes to Sugoi? Is this possible? This only will be determined by the number of votes that William Ruto will get in 2027, and also the number of votes that will be produced by the Gen Z. You know, Gen Z, they are the determinant of 2027. It's either they vote or they continue to suffer, because I have seen some of the Kenyans, they have this mentality of sleeping during the general election. They don't exercise their duty. They just say they are not focused with voting. But now when they get new leaders, they start complaining. Get your vote, register, and go and choose your leader. That is what will change this situation. But the president also has responded by saying that they are just fighting the government and they have nothing to offer. They are just pushing for a development. They have nothing to offer. So if they want to compete, they should present their manifesto.
Na ndio sababu hiyo tukaamua vile vile kwamba tuunganishe taifa letu la Kenya, ndio mambo ya maendeleo yaendelee kwa kasi zaidi. In order to enhance the momentum of the development of our country, it is necessary that we harness the unity of our nation, the talents available, the energies available, the political goodwill available for us to increase the momentum of the development of our country. Competition is good because it gives us winners and losers. Unity is better because it creates a win-win formula for everybody. It creates winners without losers. Nobody loses in unity. Everybody wins. And that is why Waswahili wakasema umoja ni nguvu. Because in unity there are no losers. In unity we have winners and winners and winners. And that is why we decided, and I want to encourage us as a nation to think about not what is in it for politicians and leaders, but what is in it for the people of Kenya. Not to think about the interest of a political party or a political side or one region, but the interest of the collective population of a nation called Kenya. That is what is important, and that is what our focus is. So mimi nashukuru sana viongozi wote waliokubali tuungane, na nimesema na nitarudia, tunaunganisha taifa letu la Kenya sio kwa sababu ya kugawana vyeo ama kupanga ushindi wa siasa. Tunaungana na tunaunganisha Kenya kwa sababu ya kupanga vile transformation ya taifa letu la Kenya itaendelea kwa kasi, ndio services ifikie wananchi wengi zaidi, kilimo itembee kwa haraka zaidi, uchumi iimarike zaidi, mambo ya rollout ya universal health coverage, housing program na program zile zingine zote zitembee kwa kasi, kwa manufaa sio ya viongozi, manufaa ya wananchi milioni 50 wa taifa letu la Kenya. That is the reason why this unity, the reason why we are coming together is important. Na mimi nataka niwaulize wote ambao wanasikiza mwito huu, let us unite, let us work together, and let us focus on the interest of a nation called Kenya. Wengi, if every leader is focusing on their interest, who focuses on the interests of the people? Who focuses on the interests of the nation? That is important for us to think about. Kwa hivyo, mimi nawauliza sisi wote, tushirikiane, tufanye kazi pamoja, na I want to assure all Kenyans that nobody, no region,
no community, no section of Kenya will be left behind. Sote tutatembea kwa pamoja, na Mungu atatujalia tufanye hivyo. Vile mmoja wetu hapa amesema, Mathayo 5:9 inasema heri wapatanishi, wale wanaoleta watu pamoja, kwa sababu wataitwa wana wa Mungu. That is the focus of our drive towards unity. Mwisho kabisa,
Yes, competition is good. That is what the president is saying. And I have been following what is happening when it comes to this presidential tour in Nairobi and also in other parts of the country. When he was in Mombasa, when he was in a northeastern part of Kenya, when he was in Lake region, when he was in Rift Valley. And what Kenyans are saying, the social media is totally different from what it's being displayed when the president's convoy passes by. And that is a sign of Kenyans, maybe they are interested in what the president did by joining Raila in this coalition, or they are just trying to gaslight the president when it comes to his tour. But in 2027, they are going to show him dust very early in the morning. I'm joined by Jeremiah here. Jeremiah, karibu sana. Alafu najua uliona president akipakulia watoto chakula pale, chapati anawapatia, anawachangamsha pale. Sakaja alikuwa pale, Baba Wino akiona hivyo anachemka. Unafikiri pia, do you think the president is giving a lot of promises? Will he be able to accomplish those promises, those projects he has been telling to Kenyans?
Bon, good evening.
Yes. Good evening.
Good to see you. You know that I am one of those people who don't believe that Ruto is a good president for this country. I'm one of those people who don't believe that he means well, because his actions don't show somebody who means well, maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally. And I'm one of those people who don't believe a word that comes out of my mouth, of his mouth, 80% of the time. Because like some people say, he doesn't have a filter. If he imagines it, it comes out, he says it. You know, like what he was saying, I think yesterday, about the Nakuru highway being fixed the next 2 months. So I don't know, there's a northern, tunnel that is going to collect water for Nairobi that should be ready in the next 2 months. I mean, sometimes he says things you're wondering, this person really, what is he saying? You almost feel like he's suffering from some mental issue that unajua wale watu wanaropokwa, they say things that they don't even understand themselves. Sometimes you even wonder if he's suffering from that. But with that said, I support the union with Raila for the benefit of Raila, not necessarily for the benefit of Ruto. Raila Kai, let him and his block, including myself, to enjoy serikali kidogo while it lasts. Because one thing we know is that we don't know how long this is going to last. So sasa hivi ile iko hapo, we are going to support it so that it lasts longer. Unajua ukipewa asali hauharakishi kutoka mali umepewa asali, so that you can enjoy the asali for long. But deep down, it is almost like spiting. There's a group of Kenyans that were told Ruto is not good for this country. But because they didn't like Raila, or they didn't love Raila, they voted for Ruto. Now everyone is suffering. So we are going to help him to continue making us suffer, so that those people who spited us, we can also spite them back by supporting the person they helped to put in the office. And we don't want to hear anything from them at wanakuja wanatuambia tuwasaidie. We don't want to hear that. It is nonsense. Sisi tukae hapo, but I'm very acutely aware that everything Ruto says, 80%, hatuna shanga where is he getting them from. Only 20% ndo ukweli. That is the truth of the matter.
Yes, Jeremiah is saying that 80% of what comes from the Sugoi is man mouth. Then it's total empty promises. What a president says. Of course, today we saw him serving children with Governor Sakaja in Langata, and also I heard what Jalango said. I was following closely, but during that Langata visit, we saw how the convoy of the president caused a lot of traffic jam along Gong Road, whereby one of the foreigners was hit by the vehicles which were running to accompany the president. Kenya's caused a lot of chaos there in the social media. I've been following what they are saying, the X accounts, and also they are trying to slump the government because of not being responsible when it comes to causing those accidents as they campaign. Because Kenyans are saying that president is campaigning for 2027. He discovered that maybe he might lose. Now, this is affordable housing. You know, Jeremiah, president said that, of course, you said that 80% are lies. Today he said that they will transform Madare and Kibera. You know, those slums have been there for a long time. Are these affordable housing still genuine, or we follow what Gachagua said, that these affordable housing, they are government project whereby one of the great politician is being used so that he can benefit indirectly?
Mambo ya slab upgrading started during Kibaki. Nothing substantial has happened. Uhuru came, nothing. Ruto now. So hiyo ni kitu mimi, I don't expect something impactful to happen. Kuna tu vitu dogo they do, which is okay. But one thing I can tell you is that of all people, I don't expect Ruto to transform any of the slums. He's the last person I would expect to do that, unless he finds a way of grabbing all that land na ikue yake. Then he wants to develop it as his personal property. That may be, but as a government project, I don't see him doing anything in that line. The chapatis he was giving today, apeane chapati. There is nothing wrong with that.
Kalonzo said that he should not change chapati.
Genes ya chapati vile nataka kuchange genes kwa ng'ombe yetu. DNA, not genes, DNA. You see, the problem with that thing is it sustainable? Hizo mashule alienda jana ama leo amepeana chapo. Will they have chapo tomorrow? Kesho mnajua anaenda shule, they might be going to my children's school in Donholm. He's touring Donholm tomorrow. Nimewambia kesho president anawaletea chapo, wakacheka sana. So wataenda watangoja akuja, nasikia atapeleka chapo huko kesho. We will see what happens. So the thing is that you chapo, I don't even think it qualifies to be called a project, but whatever it is not sustainable. It is kitu mtu ameamka tu akasikia kumbe watu wanapenda mambo ya chapo, then now is doing that. If it's something that he really wanted to do and I make it sustainable, you should have just first agreed what is the approach and how do we make sure that this is sustainable over the long term. Even this school feeding program, I don't think that it will live beyond Sakaja's administration. Something tells me that wherever Sakaja got the money to do this, akitoka hivi, whoever comes in, hata kama ni babu ama nani, they're going to kill that project. So that is how bad things are. It's not, that program is not entrenched in any policy. It's not anchored in any law. Ni kitu Sakaja ameamka nayo akafanya kazi yake, anaendelea. Akitoka hivi, whoever comes in ataharibu. That is the problem with our government and our leadership. We don't do things for posterity. We do things zikae mzuri, saa hiyo tukifanya itupatie kura next cycle and we call it a day. Hivyo hivyo tu. The problem with us.
Yes, that is the president. I saw the president when he was serving chapatis, but I think that is a great move. But now, how to maintain that move? That is what will remain unsaid, because not any leader will just embrace giving chapatis. But now, a lot of people are making these memes in the social media saying that he is now being called the chapatis. Also, he responded today saying that he is ready to be called a lot of names, but provided he is working for the people of Kenya, he does not worry. What is happening? What is he working? We are seeing a lot of projects not being completed when it comes to developments. Kenyans are still crying when it comes to development. But this is what will happen in 2027. If Gen Z are going to vote, then we are going to get a leader. Most of Gen Z, they don't vote when it comes to general elections. They just sleep and they wake up in the afternoon to see who has won. They leave that exercise for other people to choose their leaders. Jeremiah, Gen Z watapiga kura 2027 ama pia watalala?
I think watapiga, but hawatapiga kama Gen Z, ati watapiga kaza block. You sahau. They will vote, but they will be swept by the political current of the day. Gen Z Wajaluo, you know where they will go. Gen Z wa Kikuyu, you know where they will go. Gen Z wa Kale, you know where they will go. Mtu asikudanganya ati watapiga ati sasa sisi ni Gen Z, they go in one direction. It's not going to be possible, because at the end of the day, unaona hizo voting, the day of the voting, wewe ni Mkamba, mimi Jaluo, kuna Mkisii mahali, tuko hii Nairobi tumejishikanisha, Gen Z, tunaenda kupiga kelele town. Siku ya kura, mimi kura polling station yangu iko St. Cecilia Primary School in East Sakwa sublocation, South Sakwa ward, Awendo constituency, Migori County. Wewe utaenda huko kwenu Makueni, Mkisia ataenda huko kwao. So hiyo momentum ya Gen Z twendeni tupige hivi, it won't happen. They will be scattered. Kila mtu atakuwa ameenda kupiga kura somewhere else. So mimi sioni wakivote as a block. They will vote yes, but kila mtu ataenda kwa hizo tribal and all of those, because kama mimi, hata kama seme mimi ni Gen Z na hiyo polling station yangu niende alafu ati niende kuongea ujinga ya ati tunataka Gashagwa, si watanichoma ama watachoma nyuma ya mama yangu So they can make that noise hapo kwa cosmopolitan areas hivi, but when they go home watapata huko watu wanaenda one direction. That is the direction they will go. That's what I mean when I say they will be swept by the political wave. Hata wewe utapiga tukelele hii Nairobi, kwa sababu Nairobi si kwa kina mtu. Siku ya kura ukienda kwenu, upate watu wa kwenu wanaenda huku kwa polling station hiyo ya Ushagu kwenu, wewe utaenda the opposite direction na watu waje ati wewe ni Gen Z. Wewe ni Gen Z, Gen Z ni nani anakulanga Gen Z? Utafuatana na watu, and that's what will happen. That is my prediction, my observation.
Gen Z voting in 2027. Yes, it's true. It's true. Of course, that is true. Gen Z, they are pushing for the change in the government, but still, when you see the trend, then you know these are the Gen Z which are found in the Nairobi capital city. But in 2027, you will go back to your village if you have that vote, so that you can select a leader. Others say that they cannot just waste fare to go to Western to vote for a leader. But I think this time around they are going to vote, because if we are not going to vote, then you are going to be led by a leader who is not your choice. So 2027, today the president said getting identification cards is free, despite what it was said earlier that you have to pay 1,000 to get the ID. They said that this is free. Remember, if you are following us here for the first time, make sure you always join this great conversation here in Africa 24 as we discuss politics and also what is happening in the country here in Africa 24, discussing what happened and trying to give you this platform so that you can talk to other Kenyans on what is happening, give your views. But now we are asking, what is the future of 2027 if this Kenya Kwanza government is also going to clinch that presidential seat? They're going to get a new leader, or we are going to continue? But the president today said he is going to change the slums of Kibera and Madare for the next 15 years.
I'm coming back, Bon.
Yeah, for the next 15 years, he's going to change the situation of this country. He's going to change the situation of this country, like changing slums and also making sure that anything that entails slums is being transformed because of this affordable housing. 15 years means he's going to win in 2027. The president is aware he's going to win in 2027. That is all what we are asking. What is the future of Kenyan politics?